Hello guys, I hope you guys will be fine and doing well. Welcome to the concepts of medical. This is the second video about the abdominal muscles. In the first video we have just studied the naming of the abdominal muscles. We have discussed about the abdominal muscles, that there are only 9 muscles in the abdomen, which we divided into two categories. The first category is the muscles of the interior abdominal wall, and which we discussed in the previous video, in the first video. And if you haven't watched the first video, so be sure to watch that video first, and then you guys, it will be easy for you guys to memorize and understand this video, right? So we categorize the muscles of the abdominal wall into the interior side and muscles of the posterior abdominal wall. So the interior we have 5 muscles, and into the posterior side we have 4 muscles, and these 4 muscles are the psoas minor, iliacus, and quadratus lumborum. So these are the 4 posterior muscles of the abdominal wall, and here we just divide the interior lateral abdominal wall muscles to the two categories: flat muscles and vertical muscles. Flat muscles are 3 muscles and verticals are 2 muscles here. So these flat muscles are external oblique muscles, internal oblique muscles, and transversus abdominis. And here in vertical muscle we have rectus abdominis and pyramidialis. You guys should be understand about the pyramidialis, that this is the vestigial organ. This is rare in some human being, it is present, and in some it is absent. So pyramidialis is the vestigial organ, means it is a surplus organ. It has not so much importance in the muscles. So in this video we will talk about the nerve supply of all these muscles. So here we come, and the first muscles which we have, the external oblique muscles. This muscle is supplied by the interior primary rami. So this is supplied by the primary interior primary ramus, and this its roots is from T7 to T12. So this is the nerve supply of the external oblique muscles, interior primary rami, and its nerve root is from T7 to T12. So the here the second muscles which we have, the internal oblique muscle, this is also supplied by the interior primary rami, but here is one other nerve as well. So the first name is the same, but here we have one other nerve which is ilioinguinal nerve. Ilioinguinal nerve, and in which nerve root is just L1. So here in the internal oblique muscles we have nerve root is from T7 to T12 and plus L1. So this is the nerve root of the internal oblique muscles, right? Here we have two nerve, interior primary rami from T7 to T12, and ilioinguinal is the second, and this is also supplied by the same, and plus this muscle, right? So this name is the same for all of them, T7 to T12 and plus L1. So these muscles are supplied by these nerves, right? So here rectus abdominis, here this muscle is supplied by the interior primary rami from T7 to T12, right? So here is not the other nerve here. These rectus abdominis muscles and external oblique muscles are supplied by the same nerve, right? Interior primary rami, which nerve root is from T7 to T12. So here the pyramidialis, it is supplied by interior primary rami, interior ramus of T12, or this nerve is also called subcostal nerve. right? So this muscle is supplied by the anterior ramus of T12 or subcostal nerve. Here in this muscles and this nerve only we have only one nerve root, which is T12. So you guys should be keep in mind that others nerve which we have there, its nerve root is from T7 to T12, means T7 T T8, T9, T10, T11, T12, which means we have many roots. But here we have only supplied, this muscle is only supplied by one nerve root, which is T12, and this is also called subcostal nerve. So here down we have posterior abdominal muscles, which psoas major, the first muscle is psoas major, which is supplied by the anterior primary rami, anterior primary rami of L1, L2 and L3. This is its nerve root, anterior primary rami L1, L2 and L3. In some books it is L2, L3 and L4, but you guys should keep all both these nerve root in your mind. If you have option in the paper L2, L3 and 4, then that is the correct option. If you have L2, L1, L2 and L3, then this is the correct option. But you guys just remember that this is only supplied by the lumbar vertebral region. So L1, L2 and L3, right? So here the psoas minor, this muscle is supplied by anterior rami of L1. Anterior ramus of L1. So here is another point. Here I've told you here that perimedialis is only supplied by the T12 nerve root. So here is also this muscle psoas minor and perimedialis, both these muscles is supplied by only the one nerve root, right? So this it is supplied by the L1 nerve root, which is called anterior ramus of L1. So here in other muscles we have iliacus, which is supplied by the femoral nerve. Femoral nerve, and its nerve root value is L2 and L3. Now you guys should be very suspicious about that femoral nerve. Why we are studying this femoral nerve here? So before crossing the inguinal ligament, this femoral nerve is divided into two parts. The first part is iliacus and the second part is pectineus. So this iliacus muscle is supplied by the iliacus part of the femoral nerve. So the iliacus part of the femoral nerve supplied the iliacus muscles of the posterior abdominal wall muscles, right? So here is the last one. It is supplied by the anterior rami of T12, anterior rami of T12 and L1 to L4. So this is its nerve root. In some books it is T12, it is from T12 to T3, but in some books it is from T12 to L4. So you guys should keep in mind both of these nerve roots. So this was the nerve supply of all the abdominal muscles, and it is very easy. We can also memorize them, that the interior abdominal muscles are mostly supplied by the thoracic region. Here you can see that all the muscles nerve roots are the TTT, all of them. Some of them are just conjoined with the lumbar region, the L1 and L1. Here the both two of them muscles, and the lower the posterior abdominal muscles are mostly supplied by the lumbar region, and these are supplied by the thoracic region, right? So this was the the nerve supply of the abdominal muscles. In the next video we will study about the abdominal muscles attachment, from where it is origin and where it is inserted and what is its function. So in that video we will make in another chart, a big chart, from which you guys can understand all of these muscles, its nerve supply, its their name and their origin and insertion, all of these things, right? So for now, bye bye. You can also take screenshot of these muscles here. Here this is the posterior muscles,